Good evening and a very warm welcome to this special evening today on the day of National Handloom Day, which is very important for us to celebrate. And the theme of this year is raising income of Indian weavers, which had been a concern and will be a concern till the time we are able to do anything about the sustainability of Indian weavers. The weave will not sustain for long. So I'll first introduce you briefly, very briefly, to the organization. Bridging Culture and Arts Foundation, that is hosting this today's evening, is fondly called BCAF. It is a non-profit organization. It's a foundation that aims to build a bridge between artists, remote communities, and the urban population to create entrepreneurial opportunities for indigenous artists that support them with sustainable solutions to revive and keep alive the art and culture. Design interventions and digital literacy are our key drivers for these endeavors. Now, a little bit about the topic. So, in 2015, the government of India declared that the day 7th August will be celebrated every year as National Handloom Day. Its main objective is to empower weavers financially and instill pride in their executive craftsmanship. India has a very enriched history of weaving from very early stages. The Indian weaving industry has historically been one of India's flourishing sectors, offering considerable employment, and was famous for exporting clothes to different locations, even to different continents. Every region, villages, and community across India have their own weaving traditions with different customs and patterns. Depending on the location, textiles are woven from cotton, wool, or silk. Today, textiles are an important part of India's economy, which employs approximately 4.3 million people. Currently, the country even has a Ministry of Textile. Handloom is one of the hallmarks of our country's enriched and diverse cultural heritage and an important source of livelihood in rural and semi-rural parts of our country. Statistics shows that 70% of the workforce associated with small and medium scale industries in handloom are women. Therefore, the development of this industry is the catalyst for women's empowerment. I am very fortunate that today we have with us Professor Dr. Sanjay K. Panda, who is formerly a career bureaucrat and has been teaching ethics, corporate governance, environment conservation, CSR, and Sustainable Development Goals 2030 related topics. He is associated with the Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Sri Sri University, National Institute of Fashion Technology, National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management as adjunct professor and faculty. He had a brilliant academic career with University Gold Medal as the best graduate and in Master in Chemistry, Silver Medal in Public Administration from IIPA, Diploma in Forestry from AIFC Dehradun, and PhD in Economics. He has won many awards and he carries rich administrative experience as Secretary to Government of India in the Ministry of Textiles, Chief Secretary Government of Tripura, Chairman Executive Committee of the Tripura Skill Development Mission, Joint Secretary Ministry of Health and Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment among other capacities in the central and state governments of Tripura and Odisha. Dr. Panda dealt with promotion of handloom, handicraft, sericulture, jute, empowering the primary producers and disadvantaged segments of the society. He is an independent director on the board of Indo-Count Industry Limited and independent external monitor of the Central Vigilance Commission in NALCO, HCSL, and NABARD. As the founder, president of Shraddha, an NGO dedicated to promotion of handloom, he works for revival of the craft sector and for empowerment of the persons with disabilities through SAHE, Cuttack under the Odisha Red Cross Society. Dr. Panda, a very, very, very warm welcome to you on this special day. And we are fortunate to have you. And thank you for taking out time. You are right now in USA. So I'm really grateful that you're spending this morning with us today. So I'll open the floor to you for your presentation now.
Madam, thank you very much. I hope you are able to hear me. You,
Yes.
you are you are able to hear me.
Yes. If the mic can be a little closer to your mouth, we will be able to hear a little louder.
Uh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for bringing all of us together here, and I am extremely grateful to you for your interest and actively pursuing promotion of handloom. So let me at the outset convey you my greetings on the 8th National Handloom Day. Best wishes to all the handloom weavers of our country and also promoters of handloom like you, your members, and all other those who are associated with the handloom industry. As you have rightly mentioned, I have been closely associated with promotion of handloom, and my association started, in 89-94. I was director textile Odisha for a period of 5 years. Subsequently, I also worked in Tripura in this sector. And then, of course, I ended up in the Ministry of Textile as Secretary to Government of India. I joined in August, 1st August, and continued there in 2014 and continued there till December 2015. I was privileged that I had the opportunity of working with our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, and I was instrumental in giving shape to this concept of National Handloom Day. I was very much there as the main organizer of the event in the first National Handloom Day, which was observed at Chennai on the 7th August 2015. You have indicated about the statistics about the handloom weavers, so I will not repeat that thing. I will only reiterate the fact that handloom is important for us. Out of roti, kapda, makan, kapda is comes second after roti. It is necessary for every individual, every human being. And our country, you can see the map right from Kashmir to Kanyakumari or Kutch to Kachar. I think you are in West Bengal, which has got a very rich tradition of handloom. Every part of the country has its own weave, has its own color, has its own design, and these are handmade and is the integral part of our culture and tradition. A number you have indicated, and the handloom plays a significant role in the economic, in the social, and in the environmental aspect of our country. And it is of considerable significance in our achieving the Sustainable Development Goals 2030. The 17 goals, and handloom contribute directly to as many as 7 goals. So these are the major things each one of us has to clearly keep in our mind while doing any discussion on handloom. Now the next question comes that, well, it is okay, handloom day, handloom is there, but why you are observing the handloom day? Why it was necessary? This again you have indicated, and I'll very briefly, reiterate the point you have mentioned. You see, it is all happened due to disruptive technology. In our society, technology always play a very important role, right from the discovery of fire to in this age of information technology. And whenever any new technology come, it is intended for human welfare, but the problem is that they always cause a disruption. Just imagine, like you are in Calcutta. At once upon a time there are only rickshaws, hand driven by men, and then came the automobile, the car, and you see that the people are enjoying car. That is fine, new technology, but what is happening to the persons who are dragging the rickshaw earlier? It is certainly an inhuman task, but the point is that what is the alternative for them? So this is not unique. This is common to all type of technology. And Bill Gates, in fact, has mentioned in the context of automation and the use of robotics, that we must tax the robot, those who are using robot, to pay social security benefit to those who are getting unemployed. So handloom is exactly a similar case of victim of new technology, that is power loom. So before the powerloom came to being, handloom had a monopoly, and everybody was wearing handloom. But once powerloom came, and because powerloom clothes are cheaper, so whatever is of ordinary weave, less design, repetitive design, those are produced in by powerloom at a much cheaper rate. That is the issue, that is the problem. So when things start something, when the consumer go to market, he finds something at a cheaper rate, then he try to purchase that thing. That is quite logical. So that in fact led to decline in the number of the active looms and the full-time weavers in the country. Just like every 10 years we have a general census, the Ministry of Textile Development Commissioner Handloom, they conduct periodically the National Handloom Census. There has been 4 census so far. So I have put the figures for the first census, which was conducted in 1987, and the latest census, that is the fourth census, which was conducted in 2019. You can see that the as compared to the 1987, where there was about 38 lakh looms, now it has come down to about 24 lakhs. It has decreased by about one third. Similar is the case of the full-time weaver. It has fell from about 68 lakhs to 43 lakhs. And if we take like Orissa, I am working in Orissa, so I am closely associated with the Orissa handloom sector, and the position is almost similar. The number of active looms has fallen from about 1,20,000 to nearly 50,000. So that is the context. And if we see that handloom is important, it is for our tradition, culture, and all other things that everybody tells, everybody discuss. But here is the bitter truth that the number of handloom and number of weavers are decreasing. And why it is decreasing? If we decrease, the answer is very simple. It is just economic reason. As per the latest census, food census, they have indicated that about 67%, that is 2 out of 3 weavers of the country, they earn something like less than 5,000 rupees per month. Please imagine that what is 5,000 rupees for a family in the today's context. So that is exactly the reason why the handloom weavers are, particularly the younger generation weavers, they are thinking that their traditional occupation is not giving enough remuneration to them, and they are looking for outwards. And like Odisha, I was telling you that I had the opportunity of working for about 5 years as the director textiles. So that was in 1990, say 3 decades back. And if you see 3 decades back, the handloom weaver wage was something like 125 rupees per day, which was 5 times the wage for cutting earth. Like Rega and other schemes are there, minimum wage government declared, that is for the people who do not have any skill. They were earning 25 rupees per day, and the handloom weaver was getting 125 rupees, that is about 5 times as much. But today, what has happened, there is massive inflow of resources for the Rega and the labor intensive program, and many other things has happened. The urban sector has come up, services sector has come up, and the minimum wage is today in Orissa, it is 326 rupees, and the weaver's wage is only 500 rupees. So please see that in a place where it was as many as 5 times, now it has become only double. So that is the reason that the handloom weaver and particularly younger generation are getting disillusioned about their traditional occupation. And COVID also has a share which has worsened in the during 2020 2021. Now coming back to the National Handloom Day, what I mentioned that the handloom is important for us due to various reasons. Number of handloom weavers, loom is decreasing. Appreciating that thing, Government of India decided that 7th August today, which is closely related with the independence struggle of our country, was recognized as the National Handloom Day. And its main objective is basically to stand by the weaver, to tell them, to give them the confidence that you are important, your skill is important, your product is important for the country, and to ensure, to mobilize the support of the entire community, the entire nation in support of the handloom. That was the objective. So long, we have been, it has been observed 7 times, and today is the eighth time. It is the eighth National Handloom Day. I hope you are appreciated. The significance is that it is aimed at basically boosting morals of the handloom weaver so that they continue in the profession, and we feel proud of having physically the handloom product and of this great tradition of our country. So that is the background of starting the National Handloom Day. Now let us have a quick look that if it has been observed and this is happening, then what is the issues before us? Sorry, how this can be done. For your benefit, I have put three pictures on the right side. You can see the first picture is a dhan ka khet hai. The paddy field in the month of November, December. The paddy is ripe, and you can see the yellow paddy in the field. And the same thing has come on the wall of the handloom weavers. That is on a function that is called Lakshmi Puja or Manavasa in Orissa, where on the Thursday of the month of November, December, that is Margashir Mas in the Oriya calendar, the ladies, they worship goddess Lakshmi, who is the symbol of wealth and prosperity. And you see how nicely in the mod wall, they have used the design. This design, they have not gone to National Institute of Fashion Technology. They have learned from nature. And the same thing has come on the wall of their, on the mod wall of their houses, and it is very simple, just with a coat of cow dung. They have actually done it with simple rice powder paste. They have done this thing. And so the point I was trying to mention here, that due to various reasons, the number of handloom and active weavers is going down. In the two census, if we compare, first census, which was conducted in 1987, and the fourth census, the latest one, which was conducted in 2019, it has fallen by about 30%. So the main reason I was trying to make is economic. Uh, Mic is off. Oh my goodness. Are you able to hear now?
Yes, yes, we were able to hear before.
Oh, some message came. It is not okay. Okay.
Now
So,
it's double. Now it's double.
oh, I so no, are you able to hear? I think
Yeah, I think you're on in two screens. Just put off one on mute. There are two screens you're on from. Yes,
I
now
have
it's
put
right.
one.
Perfect, perfect.
Okay. So here we are discussing that the number of handloom weaver and loom has gone down, and that was a big area of concern. So after the new government took over under our honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi, we had a detailed discussion on this thing, and it was decided that 7th August will be observed as the National Handloom Day, the day which is closely related with the freedom struggle of our country. So the first it was observed on 7th August 2015 at Chennai. I had the opportunity of closely associated with these observations, and since then it is continuing. So no, now the objective is only one. The objective is that how handloom weavers' morale can be boosted, and that can be done by government as well as mobilizing support of other stakeholders of the society for promotion of handloom. So by here I was telling that our handloom, the design is closely related with the culture, tradition, festivals that is observed by different in different parts of our country. Here it is a picture of Odisha, which is a reflection of agricultural economy, and you can see the paddy ripe farm on the field on the lower left picture, and the same has got reflected on the wall of the handloom weaver, where the lady of the weaver, she has made on the wall, mod wall of the house with a cow dung paste that lay karke, and then with the rice powder, they have drawn various pictures which is totally related with that of the paddy. And lo and behold, the same thing has come on the fabrics. So the point I am trying to make is our handloom is closely related with our culture, tradition, festival, and the heart and soul of our country. So the point is that when we are trying to make revive handloom, I have just indicated 3 points and would request your kind attention on the matter. The first is that handloom weaver must understand that the solution to his problem, increasing the earning, lies with making a product as per the customer choice. I had written number of booklets, and one point I have tried to make is like any other producer, for handloom weaver, the customer is the god. Like Madam Dewan is there, whatever products she wants, if the handloom weaver make that thing, then she will certainly purchase at a higher price. And the weaver, you see, the I had mentioned about the disruptive technology. Earlier, what was happening, the same handloom weaver was making the product, and the customer in the village itself was purchasing that thing. But with power loom, with technology, that scene is changed. Handloom is costly. It has to be costly. In fact, I always reiterate the point that all those who speak that handloom should be cheap are required to think twice. We are not doing justice to the handloom sector. Handloom cannot revive if we make handloom things cheap. You see, in the customer, we have to look for people who first appreciate the difference between the handloom and powerloom. And second point is that those who have money in their pocket and those who have willingness to pay for the handloom product. Handloom is always a khas product. It is for those people who appreciate and who are willing to pay for the price. So that is the impression. That is the paradigm shift, which we have to tell the handloom weaver and make him convinced about this particular approach. That is the paradigm shift needed. Second point is that we have to produce high quality, high value cloth free of any defect. You see, if any one of you or your member is purchasing a sari from Fulia or for that matter any other part of West Bengal, and you find that the color is bleeding or the product is not woven properly, then you are not going to go there. So there cannot be any compromise with quality, with design, dyeing. We need to produce high quality of a product as per the expectation of the customer. That is the first point which we have to convince the handloom weaver and handhold him that this is the way to revive the handloom. Second point is we have to diversify the product. You see, traditionally Indian women were wearing saris. Our mother, grandmother, great grandmother, they were always wearing saris. So handloom weaver was making saris for them. But today, our generation, our daughters, they are not using saris. They are comfortable with this thing because the whole scenario has changed. They are working ladies. They are going to bank. They are going to colleges. They are going to corporates. They cannot, not necessarily they will put on saris. So our weaver must diversify the product to make, yardays, which can be converted into skirts, shirt, and other things. So that is product diversification is extremely important. Sari will be there. Sari will be there. I am not undermining the importance of sari, but sari is always restricted to some occasion, like marriage, like festivals, like a get together. You see, I have seen number of foreigners speaking about handloom of India, and they very proudly put it up in their get together, in their even corporate when they are having a celebration. But if we expect they will put on every day, I think that is futile. You see, when you are talking of a very bright color khandwa sari or a Banarasi sari, for example, you see, do you think that any lady will put it on to her office? What other people will think of her? So what is necessary that we should simplify the design. We should go for pastel colors, yellow color, light yellow color, light green color. So if they make like that, I think our sisters would be very happy. Our daughters would be very happy in putting on those saris, even for going to college, even for going to office, even for their workplaces. And second point is that when we are talking of saris, we are living apart 50% of the population, that is the gents population. So for the gent population, we must make a address. Like you see, I am put on a very simple handloom shirt. I find it very comfortable. And if we are able to make quality handloom fabrics and convert it to dress material, I am sure that our brothers would be very happy in purchasing these things. Third thing is for the customers abroad. We cannot expect an American or a Britisher to put on sari always. So what is necessary is that it had to be sold as a gift item. And wall hanging and other thing. You see, we cannot make a wall hanging with say Lord Jagannath and sell to a Britisher this thing. He may not be able to appreciate. What is necessary is the same technique, but in place of photo of Lord Jagannath, we can make something else which appeal to the customer. That is where the crux of the problem lies. Product diversification is the way out. First is quality product. Second is diversified product. Third issue, which is extremely important, is that I mentioned that handloom is basically a product made in the village, but the customers of handloom who have got high purchasing power and taste for handloom, they live in the cities, they live abroad. So there's a geographical divide. Now, that is where the problem lies. Earlier, the handloom weaver was making saris in the society, in the villages, and the handloom society at the village level was purchasing it. It was being taken to the towns, to the apex society, to the showroom, and finally it was getting sold. So that is the if we I have analyzed a costing. You see, Odisha and Nuapatna area, the Khandua sari, which you call Kotki saris, there the cost of material, that is the silk yarn and dye materials, is about 3,000 rupees. Weaver get 2,000 rupees. So that is 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees product is getting sold for 7 to 8,000 rupees. So this 3,000 rupees is going at the cost of transaction. I am of strong conviction, having dealt with this sector for the last 4 decades, that handloom weaver wage can increase only if we reduce the cost of transaction. You see, here I'll give just one small statistics. I am extremely happy to read is one of the news item is that in the 2 years of COVID has a lot of bad things. The life and the livelihood, everything got affected. But that is one silver lining. That one silver lining is during COVID period 2020 to 2021, our digital transaction has increased substantially. The latest digital transaction is something like 34 crores, and it increased by 51% in 2 years from 23 crores. I am in United States, and United States population is less than 34 crores. So that is the revolution which has come at the rural level, that you go to any person, you go to old, you go to young, you go to men, you go to women, you go to rich, you go to poor. Everybody has a smartphone. Everybody is comfortable purchasing things by Amazon. Everybody is using a WhatsApp. Everybody is using Facebook, Instagram. So why not we use the same strength to sell our handloom? First point is that our weaver must be given the confidence that you can use it. No computer is required. No English language is required. You can talk your own vernacular language because you are sending a picture. And once the picture is available, the customer in Paris, the customer in London will tell that no, I don't need this color. I don't need this design. Please change it like that. So you change it again, send it to them. And once they agree, then you can make the product. And the product you can always send by speed post, and the money you can get directly to your bank account. So, my dear friends, I think this is where the crux of the things lies. So what I mentioned in a Khandwa sari, if the transaction cost is 3,000, it can get reduced to as much as 300 rupees, 400 rupees, because only thing that would be required is sending by speed post. So that is where we need to work if we really mean business, if we are really keen for changing and reversing the trend. So that is what all that I have to tell. And in addition to that, we have to also link up the startup entrepreneurs. Like the Weaver's family, somebody is a graduate, somebody is a postgraduate, and he is going working somewhere else. Why can't he take up this thing? Like for every 50 loom, every 100 loom, the handloom weaver can always do, but it is very difficult for us to, it will not be proper for us to expect that every handloom weaver will leave his weaving and try digital transaction. So for a group of 20, 30, 40 weavers, there can be an entrepreneur who can do this thing. That is the need of a startup entrepreneur. I have almost finished this. I'll take only 3, 4 minutes to this thing. So that the point is that handloom is important for our country, which we started with. State government, central government are implementing scheme. They're spending money, but the trend indicates that whatever is being done is not enough, and it is required to be supplemented. It is required to be supplemented by the government by putting more resources, by redesigning the scheme, by having a relook at it. And you see, the 3 points I try to make. First is quality, dyeing, designing. Second point is product diversification. Third part is digital transaction, is where we need attention. Second point is government alone cannot do this thing. This is a society. This is the objective of National Handloom Day, is to mobilize support of the society, all segment of the society. So be it private sector, be it NGO like yours or Shraddha with which I have been associated, we all need to put up our part of the support for taking this forward. And this context, I would like to mention again 4 or 5 things to mention. First part is providing technical and financial support. You see, financial support I have already mentioned. Technical support is Government of India. We have Weaver Service Center in every state. State government have their own network of handloom employees. They are required to be stepped up. They are required to be motivated. And we don't require clerk and peons in Weaver Service Center. What is necessary, handloom diploma holder should be posted, and they need not sit in their office. They should be posted in the handloom clusters. So we had a concept of common facility center. So a group of 500 weavers, there is one common facility center where with internet connectivity, with water connectivity, with electricity. So that is where the our handloom diploma holders should go and guide the weavers how to make it. So that cost about 2 lakh rupees. The second point I mentioned is quality infrastructure. By dyeing, designing, internet connectivity, we need to have that thing, and it costs about 2 crore rupees. Government is making something. It can always be supported under the corporate social responsibility initiative. It can also come from the district mineral fund. So basic objective is that if we mobilize support and ensure this critical infrastructure, then only our weavers can go ahead. We are talking about digital transaction, but you go to a village where there is no electricity, you go to a place where there is no internet connectivity. So how it can happen? So this is possible, and that require a quality infrastructure. That is the second point I have mentioned on the left side of the screen. You can see. Third is I have already discussed, is that we have to motivate the young mass to start their startup. So one I have already mentioned, he can be from the weavers family. He can also be from the NIFT graduate, National Institute of Fashion Technology. I take classes for of the student, and I always try to motivate them that here is a profession where you can earn money and you can make others happy. So why not try that thing? Because a technical thing, so one fashion technology students come, then naturally they can do a better job than a person who do not have such background or training. So that is the third point, is a supporting enterprising youth for starting handloom business. Here I'd like to mention one thing, that is getting credit, getting loan. You see, our banker friends, they need to be more broad-hearted. Sometimes the procedure are so difficult that a young person find it extremely difficult and finally gives up. So I can assure you, any banker coming forward and who found a startup based on the handloom product will never lose his money. His money will come back, but that extra step, that extra interest is what is required to be taken by the banker for justifying our celebration of the National Handloom Day. Then the next point is, in the first skin, I hope you have noticed that in Delhi there is one exhibition going on. It started on the 7th, where our actress Hemmalini ji, she had come, and the photograph I put it on the first screen is with a weaver who has put her skin. He is a lady weaver named Sukanti Meher. So it is like that. Sometime back, our other actress, Vidya Balanji, she had also, promoted Odisha handloom. So more and more, the film actress, our sports persons like Saurav Ganguly and others, they should come forward because our youth today is considering them as the icon. If they put up something, then others follow. It is very encouraging that our honorable president, Srimati Draupadi Murmuji, she has put on handloom. What can be a better, symbol of our strength? So that is what we need to take forward, and it can be discussed more extensively, supporting support of these icon to for creating that aspirational image among the youth in particular. And the last point is common citizen, you, me, everybody. We should purchase more of handloom for wearing, like I am wearing today, and they should also purchase for gifting to others on normal occasion, like birthday gift. We give something, we give a flower. Why can't we give a handloom thing? We give some anniversary, marriage anniversary. We give some gift. Why can't we give something? So that is where it will create new market for it. And incidentally, I am very happy that the Ministry of Textile has this time has started a electronic medium for taking a place. I have put the link, and I would request each one of you to take that place, whatever it's worth. And that place is that I will purchase and wear handloom. Not every day, but as per to the extent possible. So that taking the place, I would like to compliment and congratulate the Ministry of Textile for taking these innovative steps. Shraddha is a small organization. In fact, I have mobilized some like-minded people with a limited resource. We are trying to work only one point, and that point is how to increase earning of the weavers. We are extremely grateful to Madam Devanji and this organization for giving us the platform. And I request you that this is not one day affair. We need to celebrate National Handloom Day every day, and that is where the challenge lies. Please go to the last screen. Huh. So this is what is nothing new. This is actually a photo from Ramayana. So you all know that about the demon Ravan who took away Sitaji, and then Sri Ramchandra has to cross the sea. And for crossing the sea, they started making a bridge, and that bridge was made by monkeys by mobilizing the monkeys and put who collected stones and threw in the sea. But here, when this exercise was going on, you can see some squirrels. Some we call it gileria. Some places in Odisha we call it gunduchi musa. So they saw that the monkeys are doing something. They cannot leave the skin, a stone. It is too big for them. So what they did, they just got dipped in the sea and then rolled over the sand. So whatever excess sand was on their back, they went up the bridge and shook off themselves, leaving those sand behind. So the Lord was so pleased that he very gladly he appreciated their effort, and that is how the finger marks of Sri Ramji is on the back of squirrel. So, dear friends, if we are talking of handloom, if we are talking of heritage, if we are talking of promoting handloom, so the solution lies in appreciating the weaver, their effort, their skillmanship, and purchasing their product. You need not purchase 1 crore rupees worth thing, but purchase one. So be a squirrel in this journey. So thank you for your appreciation. I am highly grateful.
Thank you so much for this wonderful presentation. And why I say wonderful is that you have answered most of the question already that was in the list to be asked from you. My only one thing before we end the today's session is that while there are many schemes that government is putting up, and of course this effort itself of celebrating Handloom Day is great because it is bringing attention. But then at the grassroots level, you need NGOs to work because I've seen some forms of MSME schemes. It is not possible for any weaver to fill those forms. Even we ourselves, while we understand the language English very well, we struggle with it. So, how this NGOs can actually work more easily in this area so that we become kind of a bridge between the schemes and the weavers and facilitate this process.
You see, I had done 40 years in government, and I am now also running an NGO. I cannot agree more than what you are saying. The problem is that the officers who are dealing with it need to be sensitive to the cause. Everything is possible. Government guidelines permit everything, but the person who is dealing with it needs to deal it more with his heart than with his head. So I cannot. I have no answer to your question, madam. But I feel that what is democracy? Democracy is for the people, of the people, by the people. So whatever problem you have mentioned, why not we discuss it more, so that it reaches the appropriate person. It is
Yes.
your MLA, it is your MP, it is your ministers, it is they are going to the assembly, they are going to the parliament, and they are guiding the formulation of scheme and its implementation. So I leave it there. My idea is not to criticize anybody. I would only appeal, like I mentioned, Ministry of Textile by putting that place electronic certificate has done a good thing. But doing something on internet is very easy. But doing it on the field with the weaver, producing something, changing their mindset, guiding them, all requires more of heart, all requires more of understanding,
Yes.
appreciation. That is why I put that last screen of Setubandha and the squirrel story, so that everybody understand that we can make a small thing, but it should be in the right direction and a meaningful purpose.
Thank you so much for this session and being so candid about your own experience that you had. And I am sure that we can continue to be in touch with you and see that how we can make a difference. And we hope that more people come on board. Not only handloom, but there are other art forms also in India which all need support, and they're wonderful art forms. Once we have some design interventions, we all will start enjoying those art forms, wearing them proudly. So thank you so much. Have a good day, and see you soon again.